Hello, everybody, and welcome to IC Markets Market Commentary. My name is Tamar Mer from Trade with Precision. Today, I want to start with the chart of the ASX 200. And as we can see here on the daily chart, the market has been putting in a level in and around 68.30. So let's take a look at the times that the market has touched this level in the past. So we've got this touch over here, and from here, we drop to a lower low. We pull back, touched it again, and we drop down to a higher low. Then we came up and touched that level again and fell down again. So what we have here is compression of price underneath this level. The market is keep on making higher lows here and equal highs. Now, because we are still sitting a little bit further away from that level, what I'd like to see is potentially another touch at that level with the momentum indicators converging to the upside. So if and when the market will break through that level, I'd like to see that the momentum indicators, the MACD and the RSI, are also pointing higher and making a convergence move, basically making higher highs as well. However, if we'll start to drop lower here again, I'd like to see again the market coming up, testing that level. The lower the market goes into this area, then the bigger the distance from that level, the higher the risk to look for a potential breakout. So in that case, if the market will continue lower and then go on and break that level, what I'll be looking for is a pullback to test that level from above, and then a continuation of this move with a point around the 7,000 here. It's a round number, is pretty much the origin of this move that dropped to a lower low on the daily chart. Now, a point of caution, if we're moving into the weekly, what we can spot on the weekly is that we are still pretty much in a downtrend. So even though this area, what we had is double bottom, what we can see here is that pullback could also mean that the market might gear up with a bit more sellers in and around this area, around these spikes that pushed higher, and then roll over and go down again and test the 6400. So with that idea of a potential break, we need to see more power within the buyer. So a compression underneath that level would be a preferred idea. Now, if we'll take a look here on the monthly, then what we can see is that the monthly is still in a downtrend as well. So it's those sort of situation when the mid time frame or the higher time frame within the higher time frame can be a little bit contradicting. But it could be also that this is the time that the market might turn, have a deeper pullback, and we might see a test of the 7,000. So I'm watching this area and I'm watching this level quite closely. If, however, the market try to break this level, fail and start rolling over, then I'll be looking at the lower time frame for a potential short, so a change of direction on the lower time frame and a move to the downside. So this level I'm watching very carefully for potential opportunities. The next market, and staying with the idea of the Aussie, is Euro Aussie. Now, what we've got here on the monthly chart, we actually broke the downtrend. So it wasn't a very strong downtrend, but we still made lower highs and lower lows. And you can see here we broke above the previous swing high and we're making a higher high. So moving into the weekly, we can see that the weekly actually is quite overextended. We had a big move, and I like the fact that we broke this area. So we went down, we went lower, and as you can see, if we look at it precisely, it went slightly lower than the previous low and then rejected and came out fast. We're coming up into this area around the 155. It's an area of a lot of action. We're trading slightly above it, but I expect a bit of a fight around that area. So what I'm looking for is basically a pullback, release of this strong buying pressure, and a potential another attack of this high. We can see that the momentum indicators are also converging to the upside. Now, if we move into the daily, then what we can see is that we do have clear series of higher highs and higher lows. We've got the moving averages 10, 20, 50 fanning and in the correct order for an uptrend. And this is the level that I marked those touches before on the swing high. I'd like to see another pullback into that area, even potentially going slightly lower below that level and then bringing more buyers and coming up and breaking that level again. So I'm watching this area and this chart for potential long opportunities. I'd like to zoom out a bit. You can see this area that we broke above. There was a lot of action around that area, so I wouldn't mind a pullback and another sort of rollover around that area, looking at the lower time frame, see a change of direction after the pullback, and then having a lower time frame entry into a higher time frame move. The next one is actually Euro Kiwi. It also, Euro has gone stronger against the Aussie and the Kiwi. And in this case, we also have an uptrend on the monthly chart. So we've got this low and then a high, a higher low, and now a higher high. And once again, even though the downtrend here was very subdued, now we are in an uptrend, but the moving averages haven't changed direction yet. Moving into the weekly, and what we can see is that really this is the uptrend that we've seen there on the monthly. And you can see that it was one very strong big push to the upside. And now we're sort of consolidating around this area. Now we can see there is overextension as well, meaning there's quite distance between where the price action sits right now and the moving averages, which by the way have crossed into the correct order for an uptrend. And we have nice convergence here from the momentum indicators. Now, this spark caught my eye. I'd like to see the market testing this level again. There was a lot of buyers coming here. The sellers tried to push the price lower and the buyers came back and tried to push higher. And if we'll see, we'll take a look here on the daily because this is an important element. We can see that from this spike, we actually went slightly higher. So it's not a strong higher high, but to me, it shows intention. So what I'd like to see is for the market to drop down into the level, and pretty similar to Euro Aussie, I wouldn't mind to see the market trying to break that level. So I want to see what the seller got around that area. We are sitting after a very massive bullish move. I'd like to see a drop below that area, and then I'll be looking at the lower time frame to see if I can find a change of direction back to an uptrend, and then I'll be looking to take it as a break above that area and a continuation of this move. So it is a bit of a longer term and a patient area to watch for and wait for a potential opportunity. But I like the strength of the euro against the Aussie and the Kiwi. The thing is, we already moved quite a lot. I want to see a release of this very strong buying pressure, and then I'll be looking for potential opportunities to the upside. Happy trading, everyone, and I'll speak to you soon.